When they said a young man was coming to visit me, I thought it would be Gil. I should have known better.
Courtney, your mother had a relapse. Just after you left after the Christmas holiday.
But she was fine when I saw her.
It started the day after you left with Vaughn. I had to take her back to Rose Hill. I'm very much afraid that this time she may be there indefinitely.
Had her committed indefinitely?
You make it sound as if it were my fault.
I don't mean that. I just...
Look, I can't cope with her lapses anymore. I never know when she's going to phase out on me. It just tears me apart.
I'm sorry.
So am I. She couldn't even remember that you had started school here last September.
She's so talented and vivacious when she's normal. No one would even know she's the same person.
The Alzheimer's disease is just eroding her mind, Courtney, but I can't let it destroy me, too. I hope you'll understand.
It's been 4 months since I've been gone. She doesn't even know I'm down here?
No.
We spent all Christmas talking about... Oh, Dad. It's such a waste.
She knows she's losing her memory. Clings to me like a frightened little girl. In a way, I'm glad you're down here at school. At least you don't have to see the disintegration.
I know how much you love Mom. I've seen it demonstrated 1,000 times when I was growing up. Oh, Dad, I know how hard it was to commit her.
I just want the best for her.
I know.
That's why I put her in Rose Hill. Money can't get her better care. Look, you want the best for her, too, don't you?
Of course I do.
Well, that's why I have to speak to you about Vaughn again. He told me that you had broken off with him. Courtney, if you really love your mother and me, you'll reconsider that decision.
So when Stacy realized Webster had her cornered, she confessed to accidentally shooting her mother. She thought she shot Amber.
You mean because of all the things Amber had done to her?
Yeah.
Oh, what a tragedy.
Oh, what a stigma to have to carry through your life.
But it's a stigma that we can help lift if we continue to be her friend.
Has Dave talked to her?
Not yet.
I wonder what he could possibly say to her.
I don't know. I am just so relieved that it's finally over for him.
Well, I just hope he doesn't blame himself.
Well, why would he?
Well, because of this whole alcoholism thing he's been through. I mean, he thinks that's the major cause of his family breakup.
After Kate turned him down, it was his deepest desire that he, Amber, and Stacy could still be a family again. You know, he probably feels that if he hadn't interfered in their lives, this tragedy might never have happened.
No, I think Dave is going to pull out of this with no guilt at all. I think when he finally realizes that he's a free man, we're going to see a new Dave Phillips.
I hope so.
Well, look at it this way. Dave has come back from tremendous odds, both professionally and personally. And now with these added pressures, well, since they've been removed, I think we're going to see a new man emerge.
Well, tell me, are we going to see a new Dr. Ben Martin emerge after all of his pressures are removed?
If you allow me to execute my plan to remove them.
I take it that you've explained your scheme about turning my humble abode into a wedding reception for Nancy?
Yes, he has. And that's why we're here.
Then you agree?
No, not totally, because I really don't want Nancy to think I'm trying to deceive her again.
We are not deceiving Nancy. Dan Myers, that's another story. Look, we're all in agreement. He doesn't have her best interests at heart, right?
Well, there's no question about that, but it's just that we...
No, it's just that we have not been able to prove it yet, right?
Right.
All I'm doing is banking on Nancy giving us another chance.
Well, I'll tell you something. If I were her, I wouldn't do it.
Is it in the afternoon papers?
I suppose I haven't seen one yet. When I heard, I came straight here.
I don't imagine that my father wants to see me.
Well, not now, I guess. You know, I'm sure that he will, though, Stacy. I gotta tell you, it was a big shock for all of us.
Yeah, wasn't it? They're afraid of me here, Russ. It's been on the radio. Matricide it. Killing your mother. Inmates here are terrified of Stacy Phillips. Isn't that funny? Hardened criminals are afraid of me.
Would you like me? You want me to get killed?
I would have thought he would be the first to come.
Listen, I can go find him.
No, that's all right. If he doesn't want to come, I don't want to force him. And I'm tired of lies anyway.
Hey. Come on, he didn't lie to you. You guys were gonna get married and start all over again. Now that's a fact.
I wonder if I was using him to run away from the truth. I wish that Webster hadn't lied to me. I'm not sure I don't know what's real anymore.
I gotta tell you, it all makes sense now. The way that you acted at the trial, the sudden engagement to Gil.
My dear Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, that too. I guess that it was all pretty obvious. I think I should have seen it.
How could you? I wonder what the experts will label me when they come in to examine me. I wonder what the psychiatric term is for my cowardice. Guilt transfer, sublimation, suppression.
Hey, just... Hey, it's all right. Let them worry about all that junk. Listen, is there anything that I can do to help?
Would you please go?
There must be something
Just
I can do.
leave!
Stacy, please.
Guard!
Hey, come on, be reasonable.
Haven't been for months. Why should I start now?
I'll do what I can.
Why are you trying to make me feel guilty about a decision that I've made?
I'm not trying to make you feel guilty.
When you say if you love Mom, you'll go back to Vaughn, what do you call that?
Look, I'm simply asking you to reconsider. Don't you think your mother wants to see you and Vaughn together?
Maybe, but that's supposition at this point. She hasn't even met Peter Davidson, and neither of you, for that matter. You don't know anything about him.
It is not a question of suitability or personality. It is a question of means.
Meaning, if Peter Davidson isn't rich, then Peter Davidson isn't suitable for me.
Why do you make me sound like such a mercenary?
Because that's the role you're playing. Because for the first time, I have found somebody who makes me feel alive and new. And you're telling me that I've made a mistake.
Because your decision is not equal to your responsibility.
Why don't you just go ahead and say that you don't think I've grown up yet?
When you place your personal preference above those of the family, yes.
Okay. I know what a financial burden Mom's condition has been on you.
Not to mention the emotional strain.
Agreed. On all of us. But I still think it's your pride trying to force me to retract my decision about Vaughn.
Pride?
Yes, and it's your pride that has her in the finest institution. There are other places besides Rose Hill.
What?
Well, there are cheaper facilities.
Courtney!
Maybe we have friends in Lake Forest who could help us out. See, maybe I could quit school and come home and help take care of her. Dad, between the two of us, we could work something out.
You say you want the best for your mother? All of my life, I have worked and planned to get the best for this family. Now, I am not about to sacrifice those goals because of your romantic qualms. There are no easy solutions to this problem. And you're demonstrating your immaturity by trying to come up with one.
And what do you call marrying Vaughn? Isn't that the easiest solution of all?
We could find a less expensive institution. You could, with your Pollyanna attitude, sacrifice your education, come home to take care of your mother, but that would not solve our problem.
Why not?
Because Vaughn Sumner and his father owned controlling interest in Carpenter Shipping. You reject Vaughn, we lose everything. Your mother won't have a choice. She ends up a ward of a state. God knows where I wind up.
So, I sacrifice my freedom to find myself.
Freedom to find yourself. Well, if that isn't the epitome of pride, I don't know what is. Freedom to find yourself. At the expense of sacrificing everything this family has achieved.
Oh, I don't know. I have to think.
You do that, Courtney. You do that. You think long and hard on just what's at stake here. Your pride, my pride, your mother's future. When you reach a decision, call me.
Before you sit down, Doug, if you're after me to help you reach Dan, forget it. You're wasting your time.
Reach Dan? What do you mean? What reach Dan about what?
Come off it. You've been on my case for weeks to try to get him to drop that malpractice suit against Ben Martin.
Well, if you were still married to Dan, I just might give it a shot. But seeing that you're not.
Look, if I knew I would be sleeping between cold sheets at night, I would have helped you. Believe me.
Yeah, well, Nancy told me, check out the divorce certificate. I did. It's authentic.
Broad's got more sense than I do.
You sound jealous.
Not jealous, envious. You know the difference between envy and jealousy, Doug?
No, I don't.
Well, jealousy is simply wanting what somebody else has. Envy is knowing you can never have it. And because you can't, you don't want anyone else to have it either. I'm envious, Doug. I'm not going to get a dime out of this scam. But I sure hate to see him get it all.
What if I were to tell you that he's not?
I'd tap dance across this table. Be serious.
No, I know I am. I am. Nancy's gonna drop the malpractice suit against Ben.
Mr. Carruthers, if you'd step next to Mr. Webster, I'd like to get a picture of you together.
No such thing.
Hey, wait a minute.
Harold, now don't get gun shy here. This publicity will do you good.
I don't need any publicity, thank you.
But the public needs to know about that legal victory of yours. That was brilliant courtroom
Babs, can you get the film out of this camera?
Wait a
All
minute.
right. Now, wait a minute. Let's not get hysterical about all of this. We're rational people here, and I just came over to congratulate you for finding the person that murdered my
Now,
wife.
you listen to me. You weren't on my side before the trial, and you're not on my side now. And if any of those pictures end up in the Chronicle, I promise you I am making a statement disavowing any kind of camaraderie with you.
Can't we forget politics for a
I
while?
can if you can.
Well, I meant-
Now, please excuse me, gentlemen. Right there's the door.
I meant what I said, Harold. You brought Stacy Phillips to justice, and I'll be eternally grateful to you
Babs,
for
what's
that.
coming up next on my schedule?
I think you've got an appointment at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
What's
That's
the
right
matter
now.
with you? What's the matter with you? Can't you accept heartfelt, genuine gratitude?
Listen, I don't have time for that. I've got better things to do.
Well, all right, be stubborn if you want to be, but I meant what I said. Come on.
Hey, look, if Sebastian wants to get a picture of me, why don't you tell him he'd be smarter to do it in public somewhere?
You know, for somebody who has so much disdain for political life, you seem to know a lot about it. If you ever want to get involved, let me know, because I think I can help you. So long.
Don't you think you're being just a little bit tough on him, Harold? I mean, he just wanted to say thank you after
I couldn't
all.
stand that phony before the trial, and I can't stand him now.
I don't like phonies either, Harold. That's why I'm here. Why'd you lie to Stacy?
So that's the plan. Well, what do you think, Mom?
I think you two should be in agreement. I'll go along with whatever you decide.
Thanks a lot. Look, her decision to marry Dan Myers is based solely on the fact that she thinks he truly loves her.
And that he's not marrying her because it's her money.
True love never did care much about money, did it?
It certainly didn't when we got married.
Or when I married your father.
Okay, I think for Nancy's sake, we should go ahead and have the wedding here, Mom. But I don't think that I should go and ask her. I really don't think she would listen to me right now. So I think the two of you should go in there and just convince her that you want all of Kingsley to see that Dan is marrying her for love and not for money.
Okay? We all in agreement?
Only because we really think this is another chance to get Nancy out of this. Right?
Right.
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 What is this, football practice or a blood pack?
It's flag football. You want to play?
Hey, come on. I promise I won't tackle you too hard.
That's okay. I don't feel like clowning around right now.
Oh, Herr Doctor, what do you think this is? You think this is schoolwork or Fräuleins?
Fräuleins.
I don't think it's plural. I think it's one whose initials are CC.
Won't work. I plead the fifth.
See? It's totally useless, folks. Tell you what, let's go into the kitchen and I will make some more coffee and we will discuss further Nancy's wedding plans.
Herr Doctor, I think we should take our business elsewhere.
Jawohl. Hang in there, Peter.
Thanks.
I lied to Stacy to save her father's life.
Come on, I know what you're doing. I'm not stupid. I don't know. I had a great morning visiting Stacy in prison.
Well, I cannot apologize for what I did. If I tried to subpoena her, she got gotten suspicious and disappeared. Russ, when I found out they were Stacy's fingerprints, I had to see if I could buy some time to see if I could prove she did it. I didn't have any idea I could. That's why when I got her up on the witness stand, I had to see if I could make her repeat that lie all over again and say that she hadn't been at Amber's the night Kate was killed. She didn't have to lie about it. She could have been there. She could have been there innocently visiting. But she lied, and she said she hadn't been anywhere near Amber's for months before the murder. Well, that's when I knew I had her. I knew she was the one that did it. And that's the reason I had to lie to her, to get her up on the stand in the first place. Lie to Dave and everybody else, too.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? She should go for an insanity plea or whatever you call it?
Any defense attorney worth his salt's going to recommend that to her. Have a look at the facts. There's no premeditation. It's a case of mistaken identity. She has no previous record. She's genuinely sorry for what she did. And personally, I don't think she's going to have a bit of trouble proving temporary insanity or otherwise. I think that's her best line of defense. I think you should tell her that.
Yeah, I will. You wouldn't consider defending her, would you?
You got to be crazy.
No, I'm not. I'm serious, Harold. Oh, hey, yeah, maybe you got her to confess and all of that. But hey, you can't convince me that you don't feel some kind of compassion for Stacy.
Yeah, sure, I feel compassion for her, but unfortunately it's buried underneath about 17 layers of heartburn and sleepless nights. That's what Stacy Phillips meant to me last few months. Not to mention what she did to her father. No, I don't think so. My loyalty's got to be to Dave. I think Stacy just better find herself another attorney.
Yeah, okay. Look, I'm sorry for coming out so strong, okay?
Hey, that's okay. We've all been under a lot of pressure lately. Why in the world are you getting interested in Stacy Phillips anyway? Where's Gil Prescott in all this?
I don't know. But I'm gonna find out. And if he doesn't visit her, I'm gonna make him.
Does Dan know that Nancy is dropping the suit?
Not yet, no.
Boy, what I wouldn't give to see his face when he does.
What if I could arrange that, Julia?
You know, he sure had you figured wrong. Dan always said you were a loser. He should only know what a winner you are.
Oh, he will. He will. Now, do you really want to be there when I break the good news to Dan, or what?
You bet I do.
Okay, here's the plan. Ben is going to try to convince Nancy's sister, Terry Davidson, to try to have the wedding for Dan and Nancy at her place.
Right.
Okay? He wants to convince Dan that he's a part of the family, part of the Davidson family, okay? Just before the ceremony.
Hello?
Yeah, Courtney, are you okay?